Hey guys, so if you saw yesterday's video, then you know that I am a fan of the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. It retails for $49. It is available online February 8th and in stores February 28th. And I said in yesterday's video that I wasn't going to buy it because I can't spend $49 just for one palette. That's too much. I need the money to spread a little bit further than that instead of just getting one thing. So I went through my collection to see if I could dupe it. And I can. I found a dupe for every single eyeshadow in that palette amongst my collection. So I thought I would show you what I came up with because you might have some of these things. And the things that you don't have, you may have something else in your collection that you can substitute. And if there's like one thing that you're missing, you might want to pick up something just inexpensive to fill in the gap. Duping palettes is a great way to see what you're missing in your collection. You know, maybe there is one shadow that you don't have that would be nice to have that you could use with everything else that you already own. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first shadow in that palette is called Standoff, and it's a soft beige matte. That's easy enough to dupe, right? Everybody has a soft beige matte in their collection, I feel. So I immediately thought of the Jason Wu Matte Agave palette that I got recently. And this shadow right here is going to dupe that. On camera it's looking very white, but in real life it's more of a beige. So I'm sure you all have something just like that in your collection. Okay, the next one is called Spur, and it is a pale peach matte. And this one right here, this one, yeah, this one. This is coming off on camera as looking quite yellow, but it matches the second shadow in that Urban Decay palette. So I'm sure you have something just like that too, because, you know, this is the easy part of the palettes too. All right, now that's it for this Jason Wu palette, so you can substitute whatever you have. The third shade is called Nudie, and for that I am going into the e.l.f. Cream and Sugar palette. And the very first shade right there is a dupe for Nudie. And the next one is called Hold'em. They describe it as a warm bronze creamy metallic. No, it is not a bronze, and I don't know why they describe it that way. If you look at the shadow in the Wild West palette, you will see that it is actually a gold. And this third shade in the palette is definitely a dupe for that, in that same e.l.f. Cream and Sugar palette. Okay, so I found two dupes right in that one palette, two dupes in the Jason Wu palette. Okay, next is Cowboy Rick. This is a warm silver creamy metallic. For that, I found a dupe in my Zuri Flawless Metallic palette. This is $1 on shopmissa.com, and it is in stock, and it is $1 well spent, because this is a really nice palette that is all metallic shades, and I love the lucite packaging. But this is an exact dupe. This is a creamy silver metallic. If this had been matte and this had been matte, I could have used those as dupes too, but they're not. This whole palette is metallic. And then there's three beautiful purples. Well, this is a purple, that's a purple, and that's a plum. But yeah, this silver is perfect for Cowboy Rick. Okay, next is Laredo, and that is a taupe matte. And I found that shade of a matte taupe in the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette, which I'm sure a lot of you have. And the shade Culotta is the dupe for that. So it's a brownish taupe. Okay, and next is Bud, which is a soft turquoise shimmer. In the new e.l.f. Meant to Be palette, this right here is a dupe for that. Next is Rustler. It is a deep copper shimmer. This is the e.l.f. Hot Chocolate Eyes Sugar Cookie Palette. It's limited edition, but it is still available on e.l.f.'s website, and it's only $10 for all these shades. And there are multiple dupes in this palette. So, let's see. Rustler. This shimmery copper right here is a dupe for Rustler. And then we have Ghost Town, which is a matte terracotta. This is a dupe right here for that shade. And then we have Whiskey, which is a matte rich brown. And this is a dupe for that. So there are 3 dupes in this palette, and it's a really pretty palette that came out at Christmas time, and it has a lot of other nice shades in there too. Okay, next is Tex. Tex is a deep blue-green matte, and I found a dupe in the ColourPop Just My Luck palette, the shade Act Natural. There's only one problem with this. ColourPop discontinued this palette, but a lot of people I feel like already have this in their collection. If you don't have this palette and you want another dupe, there is another shadow just like it in the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette, the emerald one, so you might have that. And then there are a ton of dupes amongst the Makeup Revolution or Revolution Beauty or iHot Revolution brands. There are many palettes that they have that shade in it. Examples would be the Mint Chocolate palette, the Avocado palette. There's a full size and there's a mini. The Forever Flawless Chilled palette has one. There's a bunch of palettes by that brand. And then ColourPop has a single called Conjure Up that would be a dupe. And I signed up to be notified when that came into stock because I have 2 spots left in my ColourPop single shadows palette, and I thought that would make a great addition where this is limited edition. I wanted something that was permanent. And then if you got the Raw Beauty Christie collab palette that ColourPop did with her at Forest City, there's a dupe in there too. So there are a lot of other choices for that particular shade. Okay, so what do we have left then? Pony Up. This was the only one that I had to go into a high-end palette to find a dupe for. I tried to find one amongst my more affordable palettes and eyeshadows, and this was the only one I could come up with. In the Urban Decay palette, it's called Pony Up. It's a cool slate matte, and I found a dupe in my Jeffree Star Cremated palette. It's called The Morgue, and it's this one right here. That is a dupe for it. I wasn't surprised because this is all grays and silvers and taupes, and I figured there would be a dupe in here. So those are my dupes. I also wanted to mention that the Urban Decay palette consists of 8 mattes, 2 metallics, and 2 shimmers. The look that I have right now, I used some of these palettes to do this look. I used the e.l.f. Cream and Sugar palette. I used the e.l.f. Mint to Be palette. Why don't I just tell you what I did, because I'm going to list it in the description box, but rather than having to go into really specific detail, I can just say as described in video. So what I did was I started off with the Cream and Sugar palette. I put this as my base shadow all over. Then I took this shadow and I put that on top of the base shadow just on the lids. Then I went into the ColourPop Just My Luck palette, and I took a liner brush and used the shade Act Natural, and I put some of that on the liner brush, and then I wet my brush with a setting spray, and I did this wing along the top part of my lash line and then in the corner there. And then I took that same brush and I used the shimmery green from the e.l.f. Mint to Be palette, and I put that over that color. And then I went into the e.l.f. Hot Chocolate Eyes Sugar Cookie palette, and I used the shimmery copper in the crease and connected it to the end of the wing. Now, why did I do this look? Because if you go on the Sephora website and you find the Urban Decay palette on there, you will find a video that Urban Decay did with actress Camille Mendez, the actress that plays Veronica on Riverdale. They did a look on her, or she did the look. I can't remember if someone did it on her or if she did it herself, but this is the look that they did. Well, as close as I can come to it. I tried to recreate that look using the shadows that I had in my collection. So I only used 1, 2, 3, 4. I only used 4 of the palettes to create that look using the corresponding dupes. So that is it, you guys. I hope you found something useful in this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.